With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields.
Right now, everybody knows how bad Justin Fields is struggling in the NFL, but I think some of that is because the Chicago Bears broke him. And I want to take a look back at how good he was in college and how the Chicago Bears broke him. Now, in high school, right before college, Fields came out as the #2 recruit in the nation, right behind Trevor Lawerence. And Justin Fields versus Trevor Lawerence will become an occurrence throughout their college careers, as they would be 1 and 2 in mock drafts, and they had played each other a couple times in college. Now, out of high school, Fields decided to stay in state and commit to Georgia. Now, while at Georgia, he was never going to start his first year because Jake Fromm was a quarterback there, and he just led the Bulldogs to a national title appearance. When Fields did get playing time, it wasn't much throwing because it was a lot of garbage time snaps. So you saw him run the ball a lot. You saw him make a lot of short throws. It wasn't too many deep passes. So you didn't get to see too much of Fields and what he can do as a full quarterback. And for Fields, in his first year, he only threw 39 passes for a little over 300 yards. But he did decide to transfer to Ohio State, and his decision to transfer to Ohio State was because of a Georgia baseball player calling him a racial slur when he was attending a game. But I think it's safe to say his decision to transfer to Ohio State was the right thing to do. And Fields' first year at Ohio State, he threw for 3,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, showing great pocket awareness and ability to escape pressure and deep ball accuracy. He looked like a full package at quarterback. Fields led them to an undefeated regular season, including a win over arch rival Michigan. And he led them to a college football playoff appearance where they ended up playing Trevor Lawerence and Clemson. But they ended up losing due to Fields throwing a pick on the last play, but it wasn't his fault. Chris Olave went one way and Fields threw it the other way. Is really a miscommunication, but that's fine. Fields was set out for revenge the next season, as he played 8 games due to the pandemic, but threw for 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. Once again, Fields led Ohio State to another undefeated season, and this time, once again, they matched up with Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. But this time it was a little bit different. Fields threw 6 touchdowns and beat Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. Now, they did lose to Alabama in the national championship game, but Fields would leave his mark as one of the greatest Ohio State quarterbacks of all time. Now, it would be after a national championship game where some weird stuff would start to happen for Justin Fields, as you would see his name in mock drafts go from number 2 or number 3 all the way down to number 9, number 10. It would just get lower and lower as the draft is coming along. And we did see his draft stock fall because he was chosen at 15 in the first round. And this pick was so electric for Chicago because they were just coming off of a bust of a quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky, and they just got this star quarterback in college named Justin Fields, who led his team to a college football playoff appearance not once but 2 times in a row. And he was supposed to be the savior of this franchise. But after that, the Bears broke Justin Fields, and here's why I say that. Now, throughout his career, Fields has been sacked a total of 104 times. For example, the 2 most successful quarterbacks in his draft class, Trevor Lawerence and Mac Jones, have both only been sacked 67 and 68 times in their total career. Now let's look at the wide receivers he had to work with. In the first year, wasn't nothing special. I mean, you had Darnell Mooney and Allen Robinson, but after that, you kind of had nobody else. In the year 2, I guess you can kind of say they tried to make upgrades. I mean, they got Dante Pettis, they signed Equinemius St. Brown, they drafted Velus Jones Jr., and they traded for Chase Claypool midway through the season. But all those acquisitions really weren't anything crazy or impactful. I will give the Bears credit though. In year 3, they did get DJ Moore for Justin Fields, a 1,000-yard receiver. And then in the draft, they drafted Darnell Wright, a right tackle from Tennessee. But those players aren't enough, as the coaching has been questionable throughout Justin Fields' whole NFL career. First year, he had Matt Nagy as a head coach. Then they fired him, hired Matt Eberflus, and hired Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator. Now, we know Matt Nagy as a play caller was not the greatest, but Luke Getsy is literally terrible. I've never seen an offensive coordinator call so many wide receiver screens and just short passes in general. And when you have bad coaching and questionable help around you, it can equal to a quarterback not looking good. Sometimes though, it's not all the Bears' fault, as Justin Fields does have a tendency to hold the ball too long. He also has a tendency to miss receivers, and sometimes he does throw inaccurate passes. But when you look at the history of the Bears developing quarterbacks, they just don't have that great history of developing quarterbacks. They actually have a bad history of developing quarterbacks. So I think it's safe to say that the Bears broke Justin Fields. They hired Matt Eberflus and Lou Getsy, and they didn't develop him right. And then you provide him with a trash offensive line 3 years in a row, and that doesn't go right for him either. And the wide receivers outside this year have been bad. But if you believe the Bears broke Justin Fields, hit that like and subscribe. Turn the noties on, and I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.